Okay, so the recording has been started. Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar on ASCM exam tips and tricks. My name is Sana Khan. I'm the sales head at KnoWerX Education. I'm happy to see so many of you joining us today, eager to enhance your preparation strategies for the ASCM certification exams. We are thrilled to have our SCM guru, Mr. Ravindra Tulsyan, sir, founder of KnoWerX Education and ASCM Master Instructor and supply chain expert to guide us through for today's webinar. I would request everyone to keep themselves on mute as it might create disturbance. If you have any queries, please mention in the chat box. We will be having a Q&A session towards the end. Okay, over to you, Ravi sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Sana, and I'm happy to present this session to you. I hope my PowerPoints are visible and I am audible. Am I?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. You're
Yes.
audible and visible clearly.
The PowerPoints. Okay. All right. So it's a, session that I just prepared, and to inform people what is the best way to prepare for exams. So we have three actually. The last one, is included in the study and study plan. So exam structure and testing, we'll talk about that. Study resources and study strategy and plan. So we'll talk about these three main topics. So I'll quickly start with the exam structure and testing process. Now remember that these exams are very different. ASCM exams are very different as compared to the university exams that we are used to in our career. So as a student, and all of us have given university exams. Now I go back to Bloom's taxonomy that was created by Benjamin Bloom long back. Now typically our university exams are at the first two level, usually the first level itself, it is a knowledge level, where if you by heart the subject and reproduce the answer in your exam, okay, you may get full marks or you may become a gold medalist also, right? Uh, but that is not the case in ASCM exams. Other level, second level is comprehension, which is little bit different than knowledge, where you reproduce the knowledge in your own words. That also does not work in ASCM. So application level, that is third level, is what ASCM exams tests. All right. So this is little different as compared to our university exam. So what is expected? So as I said, ASCM exams are unlike university exams. Okay, those are not the same. I think someone's mic is on, so I'll just mute all the participants. All right. Okay. So I think those are not like university exams. These exams are not based on a textbook, which usually university exams are, but these are based on body of knowledge. So it's quite different. Okay, and what is the body of knowledge, where it is specified? So there is something called an exam content manual, which you all have access to when you buy your learning system. That has an exam content manual which you can download. That details complete outline, course outline, reference materials, exam pattern, area-wise weightage, sample questions, terminology, etc., etc., etc. So all that is there in the exam content manual. And if you are going to give the exam, if you are going to study, I urge every one of you to first go through the exam content manual. So this is the main reference document based on which exam as well as study materials are created. So both are created based on the exam content manual. That's a central reference document for each exam. So there is an exam content manual separate for CPIM, for CSCP, for CLTD, for CTSC. There are different exam content manuals that you can access. Since this test is application level, learning the study material by heart is not going to help. So what we call as by heart or remembering or mugging, whatever we call it, that is not going to help. Understanding also not help. What is expected in the CSTN exam from the examinees, that you should be able to understand the rule, okay, and apply the rule and the concept in an unseen situation and solve a business problem. That is what is expected out of the participant. And therefore, ASTNL exams are different, right? So it's not same as other exams, right? So and this is the reason why these exams consist of unseen MCQs. Some people ask me, can we get the past paper, past exams, or can we get the set of questions that come in the exam? So ASTNL does not release all those questions because they want MCQs which come in the exam to be unseen. Okay, that you should not be able to know and practice. And all the questions are MCQs, not subjective question answers. And that is this is because they want to test you at the application level, right? So what is the exam structure? I think you may have known that, or if not, I'll just describe. In the exam, you have multiple 150 multiple choice questions, MCQs. All the questions are unseen by you. So you may be seeing these questions for the first time. Every question has four and only four, okay, not three, not five, four choices to pick the correct answer from. And you can pick up only one answer. You cannot pick up two or more. You can't do that. But there is no penalty for selecting a wrong answer. So if you select a wrong answer, there are many exams where negative marking is there. Here we don't have negative marking. You get maximum 3.5 hours, which is 210 minutes. So you get 210 minutes to answer 150 questions, right? No breaks are allowed in this exam. So please make sure before you enter the exam that you eat, drink, and use your washroom properly, okay, and then only enter the exam room. So there are 20 questions which are distributed randomly, which we call as pre-test questions out of this 150. Those are presented only to collect statistics. So these questions don't have any weight. They don't carry any weight. So whether you answer these questions right or wrong does not affect your score. The remaining 130 questions carry weight, but they don't carry the same weight. Difficult questions carry more weight, easy questions carry less weight, but these weights are not revealed. Okay, so you will not know which questions carry how much weight. You will not know. You will also not know which are the pre-test questions or which are the main questions. That also you will not know. And this is not a dynamic exam. By meaning dynamic exam is some of the exams when you start answering the questions, depending on how you are doing, how you're answering the question, whether you're answering right or wrong, the difficulty level keeps on increasing if you're answering it right, and difficulty level keeps decreasing if you're not able to answer right. Okay, those are called dynamic exams. So we don't have such exam. These are not dynamic exams. And this is not a linear exam. In linear exam, you have to go question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4 like that linearly, and you cannot come back. Okay. So this is not a linear exam. You can come back as much time as you want. There is no absolute problem. And all examinees do not get the same question set. So everyone gets a different question set, right? And since these exam sets are different and the questions that you get in each set is different weights, okay, this becomes little complex. So we have to normalize each set on a scale of 350. Why 350? I don't know why 350, but the scale is 350. So the exam score ranges from 200 to 350. What does it mean is even if you don't answer anything, okay, you still get 200. Okay. So scores 300 points and above are considered pass. And if you are 299 or below 299, you are considered fail, right? And exams are graded using a special methodology called scaled score methodology. And this technique ensures the equivalent passing standards are maintained for varying difficulty of each exam from one to the next. So whether you take the exam in India, whether you take in Japan, whether you take in the USA, or whether you take now, or whether you take after 6 months or 1 year, your score should be same depending on your competency level. So depending on your competency level, your score should be same. That is the whole idea behind this examination. There's a whole lot of science behind it. And the questions are picked from different diagnostic area using a predetermined ratio, right? So there is a ratio how questions are picked. Okay, so you have to be very careful about that. These ratios are specified in exam content manual. Okay, and you can see that different exams, there are different area, and what are the percentage of questions which come from each area. So there's a list for CLTD, there's a list for CPIM, there is a list for CSCP, there's a list for CTSC. So from each area you get certain number of questions, a weightage. And as I said earlier, the evaluation is completely different. It is not percentage that is how you pass the exam, because the weightage is different. There is a complex method to evaluate the exam, that you evaluate the answers that you are given, and arrive at a score. Okay. Now, how the testing process works. So why I am covering is, when you are studying, you should know the exam and you should know the testing process, so that you can properly focus on your study. Okay, so as you know that every question has 4 answers, and each question is presented one at a time. Okay, so you will get one at a time. So what you can do is, you can answer the question and go to the next question, or you can go to the next question without answering. And that is not something that is recommended, because as I said, there is no negative mark. So even if you want to go to the next question, you must select at least one answer out of 4 and then go to the next question. If you're not sure about the answer, okay, there is a facility to mark the question for later review. Okay, so that you can come back later and review these questions. So you can mark it for review and go to the next question, right? But before answering the question, carefully read the question and carefully read every word, word by word, and read the answers also very carefully. Okay, and I would recommend that you read twice the question as well as all the 4 answers, word by word, slowly and carefully you read the questions and the answers. Now, some of the questions are so easy that you obviously know the answer. So I'm not saying that for those questions you have to read twice, but otherwise usually you have to read it twice. And if you don't know the answer, okay, or so then you can go by process of elimination also, that okay, out of these 4, this can't be the answer and this can't be answer. And sometimes you end up with 2 answers and you're confused between 2 answers, and that is the that situation comes a lot of time. So select any one and proceed. Don't waste too much time. Don't waste too much time in testing. So on an average, you must take 1 minute to answer a question, right? And sometimes the questions are difficult, and you get involved into that question and you start wasting too much time. So avoid that. Avoid that. Okay, if you have such question, mark the question for review, go to the next question, and if you have time remaining at the end, then you can spend time on these questions, on these kind of questions, right? So don't spend a lot of time in the first iteration. You quickly mark it for review. Pick any one answer before you go to the next question. Pick at least one answer and then go to the next question. Okay, and you can also go back to any question if you want, because this is a non-linear exam. So once you answer all 50 questions, you have usually presented with several choices. One is that you want to review all unanswered questions. One is to review all questions marked for review. One is to review all questions. Okay, and the last one is submit answers at the end of the exam. And as soon as you press submit, system will tell you your scores immediately. Immediately it evaluate and tell your scores, right? So this is what it is. So if you have any questions, you can type in the chat box. We will take these questions towards the end. Okay. And then already a question, I think, do we have negative marks for wrong answers? From James Chris, and I already answered there are no negative marks for wrong answer. Okay. So I would highly recommend that you answer every question. Don't leave any question unanswered, right? Even if you don't know the answer, select one of the 4 answers and go ahead. Let us look at the study resources, what you have. So before I go to the study resources, I want to tell you what not to use as a study resource. Okay, what not to use. So first is your experience. A lot of people feel that I am experienced in supply chain management for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, so I don't have to study. They straight away jump into the learning system and start taking the quizzes. Okay, so please don't do that. Okay, please don't do that, because the business processes that you have experienced in your work area, in your organization, your company, may be different than recommended business process in APICS certifications. So please, don't be very confident that you will be able to answer with your experience. Okay, I mean, I'm not saying experience is not good. Experience is good, but remember the APICS business processes or best practices may be different. The terminologies used in APICS may be different, so be careful about blindly using your experience. Now some people want to learn through quizzes, so they don't learn the reading material. They start taking quizzes, answers and so on, and they want to learn through quizzes. That is not a correct way of doing it. And if you start uh, answering quizzes many number of times, then you start seeing same questions start repeating, because these quizzes have the that the question bank has limited number of quizzes. So if you start repeating these quizzes too many number of times, you will see the same questions, and because you remember the answers, you start feeling that I have studied, I am prepared, and that's not correct. Don't use third party question banks. I mean, you can, I'm not saying that, but don't try to study through question banks. That's a wrong mechanism to study from question banks. And making a list of important topics and leaving out the next. I think we used to do all this in the university. We used to take exam papers of last 5 years, and then maybe 10 years, and then we used to make our own decision, our own guess, that this year what questions will come, what answers we'll have to give. Okay, so we can read these chapters and leave out these chapters. All that we used to do, and that is not going to work here. So don't do that. So that's actually quite risky. Some people want to study from training PowerPoints, because PowerPoints that you get in your instructor-led training. Okay, you get the PowerPoint copies. So you want to study through PowerPoint copies or the instructor notes. I mean, anyway, you don't get the instructor note, but if you want to study to that, that's not the correct situation to be. So there is no substitute to read the reading material fully. There is no substitute to this. Okay. Now, also, don't make this mistake that you follow someone else's study plan. So sometimes, people say that I have passed CSCP, I have passed CPIM. I mean, immediately people ask, how did you prepare? And the person gives, the way he or she prepared. Now, people start thinking that, I will also start preparing the same way. And that is not correct, because each individual has a different preference for learning. And we'll cover that little bit later. So please don't follow somebody else's study plan. Okay, and then don't use worldwide web resources, internet, go to Google, type in questions and get the answers. I'm not sure. Sometimes they may comply with APICS body of knowledge, and sometimes they may not comply with APICS body of knowledge. So if you start studying through worldwide resource www resources, that may be risky. I'm not saying that you may not pass, but I'm saying that could be risky. So I will say you avoid that. So step number one is know that everybody has a different learning preference. Everyone. So you can use this website called vark-learn.com. Okay, I mean, so there is a questionnaire which you answer. I mean, this is a paid site. Okay, this is a paid site. There's a questionnaire that you answer, and once you answer the questionnaire, they'll tell you whether you prefer to learn by visual, by seeing some pictures, or you prefer to learn by oral, by listening, or you prefer to learn by read write, or you prefer to learn by kinesthetic, that is by doing things, practicing, right? Usually, I think all of us are a mix of above four. Not that we don't learn by visual, not that we don't learn by oral, but some of these are strong with us. Okay, some of them are weak with us. So, we have a blend, unique blend. How do we learn? Okay, so that's a very unique blend. So one way is that you can go and spend your money and take this test. Okay, and know VARK, whatever your strengths are. But if you don't have to do that, okay, so know that first of all, your way of preference of study is different. Okay, what works for someone else may not work for you. And so remember your learning preference from your university days. It's very easy. You don't have to go to this VRK website. You don't have to spend money. You don't have to answer the questionnaire. Start remembering what actually works for you. You already have gone through university. So some people can read a book and pass the exam. Some need to attend classes. Some pass by writing notes. Some prefer studying with friends. Some pass by doing practical. Some learn by teaching others. Okay, so there are many ways to learn and many preferences to learn. So make sure you prepare the ASCM exam using your learning preference. That's very, very important. Don't copy someone else's learning preference, that may not work for you. All right. So I think the study resources that I think if you have already bought the learning system, then these are part of the learning system. I actually mentioned exam content manual. There is also exam handbook, which gives you basic detail about exam registration, what should you do on the day of the exam, what if you are if you have medical issues on the day of the exam, how to reschedule the exam, and so on. Okay, there is an also very important document, okay, that is called ASCM dictionary. So you can download this dictionary, you can see this dictionary, and I think this dictionary has many terminologies or terms of words which are used in supply chain management, and what is the meaning of that. Okay, some of you may not have used all the words, but these come in very handy, and particularly some of these terminologies may be used in the exam that you want to understand the correct meaning of that. So therefore, ASCM dictionary is important. Now remember, ASCM dictionary has lot of terminologies. Now every exam does not require you to understand every terminology. So which terminology you should be knowing, that is given in the exam content manual, for which exam which terminology is important. You have some videos also. There is a pre-test. So pre-test is the one which you take the first thing, and by giving pre-test, you know which areas you already have good knowledge, which areas require improvement. So you will know that. Okay. And then of course there is reading material, and the reading material consists of several modules, usually 5 to 6 to 7, 8 modules. Within modules you have sections. Within sections you have topics. At the end of each section you have quizzes. Now these quizzes are to understand, to evaluate how much you understood or that section, or whether you are very strong in that area or still weak in that area. You have flashcards, you have activities like case studies and discussion. Okay, and at the end of entire reading material, at the end, you have a practice exam. Now this practice exam is like a real exam. Okay, it's a real exam. So, and these are the questions which are taken from exams itself, past exams itself, with the questions which are retired. So what we do is we create question continuously. We keep on expanding our question bank continuously. And if a question has been used for 2 years, we retire the question. We never use the question again. So, there is a continuous process of refilling and retiring, refilling and retiring, refilling and retiring. Okay, so every 2 years we retire the question. And those retired questions come in this practice exam. Okay, but I will recommend, don't take this practice exam in the beginning. When you finish your studies completely, then only take your practice exam, not before that. Okay, don't be tempted to or take the practice exam. So there are additional study resources apart from learning system. There is a free ASCM dictionary mobile app that you can download both on Android as well as on iOS. There is an instructor-led review course that we conduct. Okay, so usually we have weekend classes on Saturdays and Sundays, 1.5 to 2 hours each day, and we continue for about 12-13 weeks. And we cover the entire subject material. I mean, we don't uh, read word by word of the reading material, but we review. And it gives you an opportunity to ask questions, clear your doubts with the instructor, which is highly experienced and certified and also recognized by the apex. So instructor itself is your resource. And if you have any mentor who already passed ASCM exam, apex exam, that is also your resource. So you can have that resource, you can use that. The classmates that you have in the course are also great resource. Everybody has a lot of experience, everyone is studying, so you have the great resource. Other friends, if you have, who are preparing for the same exam, then also they also are great resources. There is also a ASCM supply chain channel. Okay, you can become a member of. Okay, and if you have any doubts, if you have any questions, you can ask there. You will get answers. So this is a global, community of people who are preparing for exam, right? So these are your additional resources. Now let us talk about study strategy and the plan quickly, because I want you to have more time for Q&A. Okay, so first of all, as I said already, align study strategy and resources to your personal learning preferences. Okay, so if you want to attend classes, you have to attend classes. Okay, so it's important, and we have seen that if you have instructor-led review course, that is known to improve probability of success. Okay, so I think it's very beneficial to enroll for instructor-led review course. Also, one of the advantages, usually, we keep on procrastinating. I'll study tomorrow, I'll study tomorrow, I'll study tomorrow. But when you're attending instructor-led review course, at least 40 hours of study, you are forced, and there is a good quality study. That 40 hours that you spend on the instructor-led review course is probably equivalent to 80 hours of study. That's my opinion. Okay. But to get the maximum out of this instructor-led review course, you have to follow some discipline. So what is that? Pre-read what is going to be covered in the next session. So go to the next session, reading what is going to be covered. Then revise what has been covered in the previous session. So after the session is over, read what is being covered. Complete all the exercise and assignments if you have been given any. So do that, and participate in the training. Okay, don't just sit quietly in the listen only mode. Ask questions, participate, have discussions, because all your course mates have a lot of experience, a lot of value that they can provide. So discussion is very important. Sometimes discussion may increase the course timing, but that's okay. I mean, so you should actually do a lot of discussion. Now, sequence wise, just follow the sequence given in the learning system. Don't try to jump in here and there. Okay, so if you see list of sections or list of modules, don't jump modules. You start studying in the same sequence that has been given in the learning system. And don't take practice exam till you finish studying. I already said that. Okay, and there is no shortcut to avoiding the reading material. This is about 1000 pages of reading material is there. But if you think that's too much, you can't do it, you want to avoid that, you want to find a shortcut, I mean, that's not possible. I get calls from many people. I mean, people contact me in the LinkedIn, people contact me in the various, forum, asking that, sir, I didn't study, I have only 2 weeks left, I have to give the exam. So what should I do? I said, I mean, there is no shortcut. So they will ask me, which is the important chapters? So that strategy is absolutely wrong. No important chapters, because 150 questions, imagine 150 questions and different sets randomly picked up. So there is no way that you can escape any area, any chapter. There is no way. Okay. Now revise reading material till you get 60% or better in section quizzes. Now, I'm not saying 60% will guarantee you pass. Okay, I'm not saying that, but approximately 60%. If you get 80%, so much more better. 80% actually is a little bit better confidence that you're prepared. Okay. So as I said, avoid taking quizzes many times. Add questions will start repeating. So don't do that. You should not give quizzes again and again, again and again, again and again. So that is not going to help. So how much time you should spend? So there are reading materials, there are section quizzes, there are flashcards, there are activities, and these are the approximate percentage of time that you have to spend. Obviously, most of the time you have to spend on reading materials, and then on quizzes, and then activities and flashcards, right? Some people don't spend any time on activities, but that's okay. I mean, so it depends on how much risk you want to take to pass the exam, right? And as far as the plan is concerned, first of all, do the pre-test. Don't jump the gun, okay? Take the pre-test, know your weak areas, and always focus more on your weak area. I don't mean that you don't focus on other areas, but focus more on your weak areas. Okay, now at least one section you study of your weak area, take quizzes, use flashcard, complete activities, and that will give you an approximate idea how many pages you can read in how much time. Okay, and then you convert all that into number of hours you will need to complete entire study material, right? And also add second revision. So add second revision for the entire material, and then you calculate how many hours that you will need, and then you add some uh, you know uh, so so then you decide how much time you can study every day. Some people can't spend time every day. They spend weekends. So how much time you can spend in weeks? Okay, every week, how much time you can spend. And based on that, you decide how much time it's going to take you to prepare for the exam. Maybe 3 months, maybe 4 months, maybe 5 months, whatever. Okay. So, but remember, if you are taking instructor-led review course, consider those hours as study hours, right? So that's important. And if you are taking instructor-led review course, don't have a big gap between end of the instructor course and then start studying. Don't have a gap, because otherwise you will forget what has been covered in the course, and then you'll have to start everything all over again. So once you calculate how many weeks and months you will need to complete your study, okay, then you add a couple of months to contingency and schedule your exam. After scheduling your exam, there is a lot of pressure on you to study. Until you schedule your exam, you will not have pressure. So that is a very important act that you do, that you have to go and register for exam. Now, also important in this is when to study, where to study, how long to study. So this depends on your preferences. As I said, everybody has different preferences. Some people can get up early and study. Some people can stay late and study. Some people would like complete silence. They would like to go to library and study. Some people can study at home among the usual noise. Some people can study only for a couple of hours at a time. Some people can study all 8 hours. So I think everybody has different capacity and different preferences. So you have to study the way you prefer to study. Okay, there is no standard formula or a plan. There is no standard formula, right? So scheduling the exam is very important. That will avoid or reduce procrastination, right? So once you have made a plan, okay, then you should stick to the plan. That's important, because only making a plan and not sticking to it, that is not going to help. And it's very common habit to procrastinate. Not today, tomorrow, not today, tomorrow, not today, tomorrow. So that will keep doing that, and one day is added, and one day added creates a week, week adds into months, months adds into years. So don't do that. So this procrastination is proved to be very, very expensive and increase the risk. So we have people who have spent all that money, who bought the learning system, who have bought the exam, but they kept on procrastination, so everything expired and they lost all the money. They have to pay the money all over again. So that's not what you should do. Also, don't start rushing towards the end when the exam is going to expire, when the learning system is going to expire, and then you start opening the books and start preparing. That is not going to give you the success. Okay, so don't do that. So and the best thing is, share your plans and milestones with your family, friends, and instructors, and ask them to keep checking with you. Okay, and that will create a pressure on you to study. So you can do that. And focus more on reading materials. As I said, there is no shortcut to reading materials. You have to study reading material. And prioritize to spend time on your weak areas. So know your weak areas, spend time there. And you will never feel 100% confident. You'll never feel 100% prepared. Okay. So that's a common feeling. Okay, so don't worry about that. I mean, if you start saying, oh, I studied 10 pages, but I forgot the first page that I studied. So as I'm going ahead, I'm forgetting what I had studied earlier. That is normal. That is common. That is normal. So as long as you understand the concept, you have understood the rules, behind whatever has been covered. Okay, you are all right. You don't have to remember word by word. You don't have to remember all the pages. You don't have to remember all the text. That is not the objective. Okay. And if you feel that you have not finished the study, then you can reschedule the exam. But there is a limit to how much you can reschedule the exam. So this is my input. The last input is where to get study time from. So I think out of our entire week that you have, your time is divided into office hours, work hours, family time, personal time, friends, socializing, and entertainment. And usually you cannot steal time out of office or family or personal time. You have to steal time out of the friends and socializing and entertainment only. This you have to cut down for, let's say, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, whatever time. And that is where you will get your time to study. Okay. So you can steal time from there. That is the only available time usually, where you can get some time. So I think I would like to finish here quickly and open for Q&A, right? Any questions?
Uh, Thank you, Ravi sir, for sharing valuable information. Before we start with the Q&A, I would like everyone to check the link in the chat box and take a moment to write us a feedback on how you find the webinar, and we hope you found it helpful. Thank you. So we can start with the Q&A.
Okay, so you would like
I'm,
to.
I'm Siddharth here.
I think there is people have already posted the question. Let us handle that.
Okay.
So I'll read quickly. Somebody said, do we have negative marking? The answer was no. Next question from Parth Vakil. What is the passing marks? So there is no passing score. As I said, there's a complicated scoring process. 300 is passing, below 300 is fail. Now this is not out of. Maximum you can score is 350, but it's not or percentage system like out of. So it's a very complex how the scores are arrived. So I will not go in that detail. So another question from Deepak is, if I had eliminated the question, then will I get a new question, or I need to answer that question itself? So you will not get need question. I mean, once you get 150, a set of 150, you will be on that 150 only. You will not get any other question. Okay. So if you not answered any question, you are not going to get a new question. So you have to answer those questions only. Arpit has asked a question: can one question have multiple answers or only one answer? Only one answer, no multiple answer. So there are always 4 choices, and you have to select only one out of the 4. Okay, you cannot select more than one. Is the tough questions and easy questions presented dynamically, or how we answer in the exam, or is fixed set comprised of both? It's a fixed set comprised of both, not dynamically changed. Okay, not dynamically changed. So the 150 questions that you have, that set once selected for you will remain for you. Okay, that may consist of easy questions, difficult questions, those pre-test questions, all that questions, but they'll remain fixed for you. Then I think Bharat has a question. Does a question have more than one answer, or is always one? It's always one, always one. Anand has a question, sir. I didn't get your point related to ASCM dictionary. What to focus in that huge list? So what to focus on that huge list is given in exam content manual. So if you download the exam content manual, that contains the list of terminologies that are used in this particular certification. Okay, so you don't have to focus. If you go to learning system, in learning system you have flashcards. So flashcards include only those terms which are used for the certification. Okay, so you don't have to understand the entire ASCM dictionary. That's too big. That's too big. How much practice exam sessions we can give? So if you're asking me for quizzes, you can give as many number of times. Practice exam, we have only one towards the end. Okay, I mean, of course, you can give it many number of times, but you should give only once. Okay, you should give only once. What is flashcard? So I think if you want to know flashcard, you can download free ASCM dictionary on your mobile, and you will see flashcards. So what flashcards is? It works two ways. It shows you a term, and if it shows you terminology, and then you are supposed to guess its meaning, right? And once you say, okay, show me the meaning, it'll show you the meaning. And then you have to check whether what you thought was the meaning and what is written is the same or not. Okay. Other way is in the flashcard, it will give you the meaning. Okay, and you have to guess the word, guess the terminology. So it works both ways. So you can select it both ways they want. If you want, you can do it online. If you want, you can take a printout and then read. So it's your preference. And there is also a facility to customize. If you are interested, you can customize that. Then I think Parth has asked how much instructor cost. That I think our team can tell. If you inquire from the team, they'll be able to inform you how much it is cost. So we have a different cost if you register only for the training, or if you register for the entire package, that is membership and study material and exam and training. There are 4 components, then the cost is different. So you can check with our team. Then Sudhakar has asked, can we get link of this recording to understand missing points? So Sana, I think if you would like to send the link to everybody, I think you will do it. Yeah, she's given the answer. For passing marks, she's given the answer. Can we have the link? How much does it cost? I think Sana has given the answer. You can contact the CRM team for the link. Yes, after uploading, you will get the link. Can you please post on YouTube? I think yes, we will post on YouTube. What is the deadline date, month in which you have to complete the exam? I think it's about 1 year when you buy the exam. When you buy the learning system, the validity for 1 year. Within 1 year, you can take the exam. And there is a free second attempt is there. So in case you fail the first attempt, there is a free second attempt, and second attempt is valid for another 6 months. Okay. So YouTube link, the exam handbook are the 3 big fat book that we have received. No. Exam handbook is different. That's a thin document, Milan. It's not a fat book. The fat book is learning system. Ruchi, how many hours of study is required for CSCP exam? So Ruchi, that's a very good question. I think that I did not answer here. I should have answered. So it depends on your experience. It depends on your educational background. So a lot of things. So I cannot answer the question so easily. It can vary from 80 hours to 200 hours. So depending on your experience that you have. Weekly, how many hours minimum do we need to devote to complete the course? So Deepak, it depends completely on you, how much time you can take. Okay, if I say that every day spend 2 hours, okay, then I'm not sure how's your schedule or work and family and so on. So I don't want to say how many hours you should spend. I would say that you make your own calendar. But if you can spend a lot of time and finish your entire study in 3 months, that is the best, because you finish your study in 3 months. So 3 months of training, 3 months of study, 6 months you are done with the exam. Okay, in the past. So can we get to know how much marks we got in the exam, or just pass fail? So Nitin, you will get the exact score. You will get 310 or whatever, 310, 320, whatever. You will get immediately. As soon as you submit the exam, you will get the score immediately. Okay. Then Bakul, sir, when you mentioned if a candidate do not attempt any question, will receive 200 marks out of 350. Can you elaborate on this? So this works like our JEE or CAT exam, which is percentile based. So even if you answer a couple of questions right out of 150, you get some 200 and 210 marks. So as I said, this is a very complicated way of evaluating. So don't get into a lot of details. Just know that 300 is pass. Maximum you can get is 350. Below 300 is fail. I mean, if you know this, that's enough. And if you get 299, don't start thinking that if I had answered one question right, I would have passed. No, that is not the case. That is not the case, right? Because the one question that you answered, what if it was pre-test question? Then if you answered it, you won't have passed. What if it's an easy question? You won't have passed. So I think this is very complex. So I don't want to get into all the detail, right? Is there any visibility on the weightage of the question during study so that we can give more focus on that, because I attended exam already and scored 298 fail. So the weightage is not given. The diagnostic area, which is usually 8, I think you had given CSCP. So there are 8 areas are there. Even in CLTD, you have 8 areas, Suresh. So they give you diagnostic details in which area you are weak, which area you are strong. So focus on your weak areas. So if you focus on your weak areas, you will be able to pass the exam. Again, Parth has another question. How many attempts do we have to clear this exam? I believe 2. So you get 2 attempts, but you don't have to clear in 2 attempts. If you clear in first attempt, the second attempt is not required. Okay. So if you fail only the first attempt, then only second attempt is required, which is free. Second attempt is free. Okay. Milan has a question. Is there any extra fee for rescheduling or scheduled exam? Yes. There is an extra fee. I think our team will be able to specify. I think it's $50 or something to reschedule the exam. Aravind has a question. Should we attend practice exam from home or from exam center? So practice exam, which is part of the learning system, that you can attend from your home. You don't have to go to exam center. Then Preetham has a question. As mentioned, refer to videos in the learning system, but I'm able to get a video in the digital course. Yeah, you will get videos. Usually you get videos in the beginning, I think, how to study, and also towards the end you have how to take the exam, so you will get those videos. If you're not getting the videos, let us know. We'll show you where to find the videos, right? You have videos. Siddharth, I'm traveling, so can't type my question. So we'll ask my question in turn comes. Okay. Then we have
Can I
Palak.
ask? Yeah.
Yeah, Siddharth. Yeah, go ahead, Siddharth.
Yeah. So in quizzes, when we are answering, after answering all the questions, I can review the all the questions with rationale for both right and wrong answers.
So
When
this
it
you're talking
comes
about
to final
exam or learning
quiz,
system? Which one talk about?
quiz in learning system
In
quizzes,
learning system quiz,
after each,
they'll also give you the reason why it is
yeah,
right and why it is wrong.
correct.
So you can
Same
see
thing is
that.
there for final exam also.
No. Final exam, they will not show you why it is right, why it is wrong. The three and a
Oh,
half hours, in 3.5 hours, you just answer the
okay.
question, you get pass, fail. That's it. Okay.
Sir,
Final exam means not
regarding
the
to this,
examination. I'm talking about in the tool. After
Yeah,
quiz, there is a
okay.
final exam
Yeah,
also.
There you will be able to
I'm
get
talking.
the, there you will be able to get the details. Yeah.
Okay, that is what I am asking. Okay, thanks a
Right.
lot.
Welcome, welcome. Kapil, you have a question?
Yeah, regarding to this question only, when we are giving exam in examination center, we will get to know after examination completes analysis whether my question, which questions correctly solved by me and which questions are incorrect.
No. So you will not,
On
neither you will remember the question, nor you will remember the choices, nor ASCM will tell you which question you answered right, which question you answered wrong, what was the correct answer. They, all that is, they are not going to tell you that. So it's
okay,
completely
and
kept a secret because we would like to use a question for 2 years. We don't want to
yeah.
disclose questions.
Okay, and apart from that, you mentioned in your slides there is a one community for ASCM who go interested or interest. Can you provide the link or
Yeah.
detail?
So I think our team can provide the link. You have to go to ascm.org, and there you
Okay,
have communities, and you can go and log in into community, and you can select, and you can become member, and you will see, start seeing discussion. You can post your own query also. You will get the answers, right?
ASCM.org. Okay.
ascm.org. Yeah. So I think Palak has a question. Can we also see wrong question attempted with score on the screen? Palak, you will not get to know which question you answer right or wrong, and that will not be informed. Questions will not be shown. Okay, that will not be happening. I think Pramod has a question: in what way we can utilize the ASCM membership? So ASCM membership, you get a lot of access to the material. So there are two types of ASCM membership. I think two levels. For first level, I think you pay $99. Second level, you pay, I think, $199. So if you pay $199, you get discount on exam fees, you get a discount on learning system. If you pay only 99, the discounts are not there, but you can access a lot of past papers and past magazines and all that you can access online. So you have that facility. So you can go to ascm.org, go to membership page, and they will show you the benefits that you get with each membership type. So you can do that. Sheetal has a question. According to you, what should be preferred place to take exam, at the authorized center, or it can be taken from home? So Sheetal, I would recommend you to go to exam center. You can take from home, no doubt. But if in your home internet breaks down or computer breaks down, that will become your responsibility. Okay, so that is a big risk. Okay, I mean, in the COVID period, everyone took that risk. That's different. But now, because it's not COVID, I will request you to go to exam center. In exam center, anything fails, that is the responsibility of the exam center. So you will get to retest, okay, free. So that's the advantage. I will request you to go to the exam center. So I think Priyanka has a question. The study for almost 3 hours per day, and every time I go back, revise my notes, everything looks new to me. Priyanka, that's normal, okay? And I tend to forget everything. It makes me feel so tense. So Priyanka, don't feel tense. That's a normal feeling. I think all of us do that. Everybody does that. So I think even after so many years of teaching and whatever, I still probably will do the same thing that you are doing. So don't worry about that. Okay. But I think those concepts will sink into your mind. Okay. You may not have a word to word in your mind, but the concepts will sink in. How do you prioritize the topics in particular module? So that will depend on your quiz test scores. That will tell you where you are strong, where you are weak. Okay. So I think focus on your weak areas more, and whatever section is weak, you make another revision, second revision, third revision, so you do that. So CPIM, so Arvind's question, CPIM is both part 1, part 2. What is minimum time required to prepare for exam? So Arvind, CPIM is not more, no more part 1 and part 2. It's a single exam now, single exam. So minimum time required to prepare, as I said, depends on you, your experience, your education, your speed of learning, studying, absorbing, so a lot of factors. I can't simply give an answer. but usually I tell that 80 to 200 hours is the time. Milan has a question I'm not intended to, but still, can one fail as many times in a year, assuming fees is not constrained? That is, can I take the retake after retake? Yes, 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 Milan, you can take that. You have to pay the fee every time. And I mean, of course, the first time you pay, you get 2 attempts free. I mean, 2 attempts. But after that, you pay the retake. Retake fees is less than the main fees. So I think it's about half. And then, but you have to pay the fee again every time. You get only 1 attempt. Is the second attempt within the course period? Yes, yes. Second attempt is within the exam, the first exam period. So that was the question from Preetham. Santosh had a question, say, can I extend learning system for another 3 months? So Santosh, interesting question. If you fail the exam first time as well as second time, okay, and and the learning system is already expired. If you register for exam again, you buy a retake exam again and register for the exam again, we can request ASCM to extend your learning system. We can do that, okay? But you have to register for retake. Oh, that's what is important, okay? Deepak has a question, sir. What if we want to take third exam in the same year? Is it possible? Yes, Deepak, it's possible. You have to pay the fee again. Okay. Jaivinder has a question, how to go through maximum questions of practice questionnaire. I did not understand. If you're saying that how many practice questions you get, so practice question is only one set. I think it's a full exam, 150 exams. So you get only one set, okay, and the result you get is in percentage, okay. Priyanka has another question. Also, can you please let us know some tips on candidates who are giving their second attempt? Priyanka, I don't have a shortcut. You have to read. You have to know your weak areas, the weak points, weak sections, and you have to read that again. Okay, so that is the only solution I can give. I think Bharat has a question. Can we take the exam in a different country other than India? Yes, yes, yes. So Bharat, once you pay the fee, you can take exam anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. So you're not restricted to India only. Okay. Yuvraj has a question. Understand expiry is first attempt is 1 year. How second attempt expiry is calculated from the first attempt date or from first exam expiry date? So Yuvraj, so let's say the first exam expires in 1 year, and you take your first attempt after 4 months. Okay. Then after 4 months, you get another 6 months. Okay. So whenever you fail from that date, you get another 6 months, right? So that is you get the second attempt. Shiv Kumar has a question. I've joined learning system and using that ID and password, can we log in ASCM or is it a separate login? So Shiv Kumar, there's a different login for ASCM and different login for learning system. So it's not the same login. All right. And I think Sana also answered for Santosh. Can we score maximum 350 and 300 is passing mark? That means I need to correctly. No, 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 no. Ajit, I again repeat. If you are getting 300 out of 350, does not mean 85 or does not mean that. So don't link 300, 350 and percentage and all that. That there is no link. Okay. So please don't do that. Okay. So Arvind has asked whether CPM has digital version of Hawk Movement. Yes, Arvind, we have digital material. So if you buy digital material, you don't get hard copy. But if you buy hard copy, you get digital version also. Okay, so that's how it works. Okay. Do we get certificate even if we score less than 299? No, you don't get certificate. But online you get a score report where it shows that you got 299 and you failed. You get a score report online on your account. Can we schedule second attempt after 1 year of course schedule? So Arpita, I didn't understand. Can we schedule second attempt after 1 year? No, second attempt is valid only for 6 months after you give the first attempt. Okay, so I hope that clears. James, I'm in Saudi Arabia. How to contact exam center here and reserve dates for exam? So James, it's a online system from Pearson VUE. So you can go to Pearson VUE website You can select ASCM exam, APIX exam. It will take you to all the sites in Saudi Arabia. You can search by city and you can see which center is near your house or near your office, and you can take that center. So you can do that. I think this finishes the question. So now I take online. Someone has raised the hand. I think Alan raised first. So Alan, you can unmute and ask the question.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Sir,
Good
my
evening, Alan.
question is that actually today I was just trying to apply for that exam registration,
Okay.
but it is not allowing me to submit. So I think it is requiring some editing to be done in the address and all. So that was actually updated by the team in Chicago. So I'm not sure how do I proceed now, because it's not, I want to, like I fixed up the date when I want to take it, but I'm not able to go through it.
So who you are working with here in KnoWerX? Who's
I think
supporting
with
you?
with Mandira, I think.
Okay, so you contact her. She'll help you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you,
You
sir.
bought the learning system. Yeah, okay. Yeah, she'll help you. Okay,
Yes, sir.
Srinivasulu,
Uh, uh, Ravindra sir, good evening.
good evening.
First of all, thank you very much for accepting me on LinkedIn. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I have joined this session lately, so I'm not
Okay.
sure whether somebody asked this question or not. And my question is regarding the content and training program, sir.
Yeah.
Are there any hands-on projects or case studies included in the training program?
So case studies are there in the learning system.
Okay.
Not for every section, but for
Okay.
few sections you have. Yeah.
How is the practical knowledge and real-world applications integrated into the training?
So
Because
practical
yeah.
knowledge. So see, there are two things when we say that. One is whether whatever we are teaching is practice oriented or theory oriented. So actually, it is
Okay.
practice oriented. Now,
Okay.
usually what you learn in your business schools or in universities is
Okay.
theoretical.
Okay. Okay.
So a ASCM body of knowledge is completely practical. But
Okay.
having said that, we do not give a chance to practice.
Okay.
Like, vocational training we don't have.
Mm.
So there is no hands-on practice that you go to some company, sit and, start managing supply chain and learn from that. We don't have that facility.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So last one is, sir, I have total 9 years of experience in operations supply chain across different sectors.
Mhm.
So since last couple of months, I started doing my advanced management in operations supply chain from Indian School of Business. It's
Okay.
mainly focus on incorporating these fourth industry revolution technologies like AI, ML, robotics, or artificial intelligence, right? Blockchain
Right.
technology into the operation supply chain. So,
Okay.
what's your suggestion for a guy like me who wants to advance their career, wants to target some big roles, leadership roles in big MNCs? How it will be helpful for me, this program?
So program is very good, and after the program, where you get your job, that nobody can say anything. I
Okay.
mean, what I have studied, where I have ended, I'm sure that is the true for everybody. So
Mm.
where you are going to end up, which company, where you get the opportunity, where you will join, I
Okay.
don't think. So that I think you have to leave it to your fate, where it will take you. So I think
Okay.
you will get good placement, campus placement, but which company, that will not be able to tell. After the placement you get in that company, what role you get, that is also not very certain. And then where you will jump next time, where you will jump next time, all this you have to leave it to fate. There
Okay.
is
Okay.
no there is no
Mm.
hard and fast rule. Now everywhere you have to apply, apply, and apply, and you
Okay.
get opportunity. So if you are very strict about what kind of opportunity you want, then you have to wait for a very long time.
Okay.
I mean, so some people do that, but usually what people do is wherever they get their next jump, they get 20% increment or 30% increment, they join. So
Okay.
I think it's your own approach how you want to take it.
Okay. So definitely there is a, I mean, who have the CSCP certification, definitely there is a demand for the people who have this certification also.
Yes, yes. I mean,
Yeah.
the people prefer. So between a person who does not have CSCP
Mm.
and to a person who has CSCP, obviously
Yes.
in supply chain, person with CSCP will be preferred. Definitely, there's no doubt about that.
Okay. Got it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah, welcome. I think we run out of time. Sana, should we stop here or what do we do? Hello, is Sana there?
Sorry, Ravindra, sir, I have just one small query
Hello,
here.
sir.
Yeah, Deepak, go ahead.
Sir, so how is CPIM is more related to production planning and control, or CSCP is more related to production planning and control?
So CPIM is more related to production planning control. So CPIM is more ground level processes that happens in reality. Okay. CSCP
Okay.
is little bit more visionary, more futuristic, how to connect various partners across the supply chain and communicate. And the idea of CSCP is to reduce the bullwhip effect. Okay.
Okay.
That results through forecasting errors. So if you are able to connect, if you're able to create visibility using IT across the whole supply chain, okay, then you can work on actual information rather than guess, which is forecasting. That is the whole idea.
Okay,
Anyway,
because
so I
I
don't.
started my career in PPC from last year, so I just wanted to get an in-depth knowledge of it. So I thought what course would be even much better to go
So for
for.
PPC, I think CPIM is better. Okay. And
Okay.
at a later stage of life, if you want to be a leader, you may also want to do CSCP at a later stage of life.
Understood. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
sir.
Welcome.
All right, sir. So I think we have covered all the question and answer. So I think we can wind up with the session.
Yeah, are we going to receive the recording of this meeting?
Yes, sir. We will soon going to upload the recording on our YouTube channel. So we'll share the link with all the participants.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So thank you everyone and enjoy your day. Okay, I really, I mean, I was very happy, covering the subject. And I think there are a lot of questions were there, so I'm very happy feeling that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ravindra, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have a
Thank you.
nice
It
weekend.
was very
Thank you.
much
Thank you.
informative. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining the session. Have a
Bye-bye,
great
bye-bye,
weekend, everyone. Bye.
bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.
So now you can stop the recording.